Some moments in a young quarterback's career tell a coach everything he needs to know. Long before the win-loss record or the stat sheet ever catches up, for Dan Quinn, that moment came in Jayden Daniels' very first NFL preseason snap 3 years ago now. And speaking with reporters ahead of Washington's joint practice with Miami this week, Quinn revisited exactly what that single play told him about the quarterback he was about to build his entire offense around. Here's what actually happened in that debut preseason snap. Daniels checked out of the play that had been called from the sideline, trusting his own read instead, and threw it deep. It wasn't the scripted call. It wasn't the safe, conservative decision a rookie is typically expected to make in his very first professional action. When a reporter brought the memory back up this week, Quinn's response was immediate. A good memory, he called it, and one that clearly still means something to him. What Quinn actually took from that moment says a lot about how he evaluates quarterbacks in general. He described it as a genuine window into who Daniels was as a competitor, a player who trusted his own instincts enough in his very first live NFL snap to override the call and make a decision he believed could actually work. That's not a small thing for a coach to see from a rookie quarterback before he's played a single regular season down. Most young players in that exact spot are focused on simply not making a mistake. Daniels' instinct even then was to look for the play that could actually win. And according to Quinn, that wasn't an isolated flash. He connected it directly to something that happened just a couple of games later in that same rookie preseason, a moment where Daniels led a genuine 2-minute drive down the field to win a game. Quinn was specific about why that sequence mattered so much to him as a coach evaluating a future franchise quarterback. In his words, you could tell in that exact kind of high-pressure, clock-is-running moment that this is a player who genuinely loves that environment and lives in it. And here's the part of his answer that's worth sitting with. Quinn noted directly that you don't always get to see that specific quality show up clearly in ordinary training camp reps or even in a typical lower-stakes preseason snap. It's something that only reveals itself when the situation actually demands it, when the outcome is genuinely on the line. Daniels showed it in year one before he'd ever taken a real regular season snap. Quinn was named the team's starter that same preseason, largely off the strength of exactly these kinds of moments, flashes of competitive instinct and genuine composure under real pressure that told the coaching staff everything they needed to know heading into the regular season. Now, 3 years later, Quinn reflected on how much that relationship has actually grown since those first preseason snaps. He was candid about the journey, describing the stretch since then as encompassing what he called an excellent season mixed together with what was, by a lot of measures, a genuinely difficult one, real struggles brought on by circumstances outside of either of their control. Quinn didn't shy away from that honesty. He specifically pointed to real resilience being built through that entire process on both sides of the relationship. And his framing of where things stand now was simple and direct. This is exactly what you hope to see from a coach and a quarterback growing together over time, and he was clear that's genuinely what's happened between the two of them. That context matters heading into this season because it reframes what's actually being evaluated during moments like this joint practice against Miami. It's not just about whether Daniels completes a certain percentage of passes against a new, unfamiliar defense. It's about whether that same instinctive trust, that same competitive spark Quinn first identified in a single preseason snap 3 years ago is still there. Now paired with 3 years of real, hard-earned experience, both the highs and the genuine struggles that have shaped exactly the kind of quarterback-coach relationship Quinn describes as having fully arrived at. Let me know down in the comments, what's the moment from Jayden Daniels' career so far that's told you the most about who he is as a competitor? Drop your thoughts, and if you enjoyed this breakdown, subscribe for more Commanders coverage all season long. Hail to the Commanders!